Hey guys, this is my sketchbook, my old sketchbook. I just finished the last page of it, and I kinda decided to make a video about it because it has a lot of memories on it, and I'm going to give it away to someone as well. So this video is actually sort of explanation about my memories inside this regarding the drawings that I have here, specifically to that person, but I decided to share this with my friends as well, which is why you are seeing this. And it's divided in 3 parts because I go over every single page here. Just be aware that it might not be interesting to everyone, so feel free to not watch it if you don't want to, but I'm going over my drawings and I explain at what time I drew those and things like that. And yes, this video is in English as well because I want it to make for me to speak naturally, I would have to speak in English, so that's kind of like what I did. So for those who only speak Portuguese, I'm sorry, but well, I will think about making subtitles to this, I guess. Oh, and there are some very, very, very few parts in Japanese as well, but that's fine. You will be able to understand. Okay, I think you will be able to understand because I'm going to place subtitles on those parts as well. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy. Here goes part 1. Okay, so let's take a look at my sketchbook. First thing that we have here is you can draw your own cover if you want. I might do something here just to finish this sketchbook, and it's full of memories of mine on the drawings, some annotations that I did. Some of the annotations that will show up I will blur out, but yeah, let's take a look at what I drawn. So first page, here we have a sticker from a Pokemon Center. This is not where I bought this sketchbook. This is where we're good? We are good. Okay, so yeah, this is a Pokemon Center sticker. This is where I visited, when I visited a Pokemon Center for the first time. Some people, some close friends of mine, some people close to me will know when this happened and where this happened. So yeah, it was a small Pokemon Center, but everything was Pokemon. From Switch games to Switch games, because the first time that I visited a Pokemon Center, I was that old. Switch already existed. And here we have some studies. This is Portuguese. This is like when I was trying for an internship and I was in the process of interview. そうね、インターの面接の時にこれを書いたね。私はHere goes my brain mixing up languages again. I was asked to draw a new symbol for Fortaleza, Brazil, Fortaleza, Ceará, Brazil. So I thought about the literal with the buildings and everything, and that's the first thing that I sketched. And then I started to break down on shapes, and here I was testing the colors. So this is the final shape that I got to a logo. And the next one was a statue that is very famous here in Fortaleza. So I did the same thing. I break down the shape and I got to this point. Well, these are just some annotations for what was this? I don't recall. I don't remember what this was, but it was something related to my architecture school. This here, this is part of my final project in school, architecture school. I'm an architect, look at that. And this building, I was first planning on making this building, and I used the colors to kind of pin down the sectors, and the terrain was very, very irregular. So I had a street here, another street here, and it would have two entrances. It was like a place for homeless people. And we will have more on that. These are just sketches that I think I was bored at the time, and I was trying to think of a design for a game character, a warrior like a Spartan or something like that, but it wears a helmet to not be identified. So this was I never really got past this. I may do something with this now that I'm showing to you guys. This is part of the final project. This was another building. That other building that we saw was right here. I will show as well my final project with I made a model, a physical model of it. And we have a small sketch, more thoughts about that project. Oh, and here, as you can see, it's really, really random. Whenever I have some free time, I would sketch. So sometimes I was thinking about something important, sometimes I was just thinking about something else. This is a model. I got two statues from a friend of mine, a Conan statue together with, I don't remember the name of this monster, and I was thinking about making a diorama. So I was planning the diorama here. It would be inside a cave with rocks and a small that lake, small lake that we find in caves, inside caves. So this is what I was planning on doing. I started building it, but I've never really finished it. Later, when I have some free time, I may build. Free time and space, because this would be big. So I need space for it as well. This is part of that project. It's a farm. It's the planning of a farm with a market. So we have room for birds, niwatori, né? We have crops and seeds and flowers along the border of the farm. when I show you my physical model, you will understand. I will put pictures in this video as well. I may show my project later on video. So we also have something that I was thinking about. This is on how to build a fence, I guess. And this is that farm that we saw, but like in perspective. I was kind of like drawing with markers, and I like to use colors to figure out what is what, so I can easily spot the different buildings. If everything was like using only one color, it would be harder to figure out, and I would like have to take a good look. Okay, this is interesting. This is an arcade machine, a mini arcade machine that I built. I've built two arcade machines, one big, which is a Neo Geo replica. It has a real Neo Geo inside. It's an arcade that it took me about 10 years to make, because first thing is that it's kind of hard to find working parts, and sometimes it's expensive, so it took me 10 years buying piece by piece to build that machine. So when I finished building, I had some wood left, so I kind of thought, okay, so what can I do with this wood that I have? And I thought about this. It's a mini arcade machine for one person, and it has a Raspberry Pi inside. And it was much cheaper to build because, well, I already had the wood, and I only used cheap parts for this. This is like my planning on how much wood I had and what can I do with it. This is me planning on how to cut. And here we have some sketches for spaceships. Can we see? And me thinking about the Neo Geo arcade cabinet. I did half of it. And we have here architecture projects and thinking about houses. We have here another spaceship. This actually is like, I was thinking about an old toy that I had, a Playmobil toy, and I kind of made a sketch because I was thinking about like making a spaceship game, shooter game, and I was thinking about what kind of ships, what kind of things can I use, what kind of model, and I even thought about, okay, so I would need forward, like sideways, and maybe an explosion frame as well. And I'm still thinking about what kind of ship. Maybe it would have like a mothership, and the player would go out from the hangar. And I was thinking about the enemies as well. Here I was starting to think about like 60s and 70s sci-fi models. So we have here like that classic spaceship for enemies, and classic rockets. I was thinking about a robot that would talk to the player, and NPCs, what kind of things that the player would interact with. I've never really finished this concept. Well, you know what? Tell me in the comments if you have some interest on this. I might even do a series where I make this game a reality. This is part of that project. This is a bench, a public bench with some roses inside, and this is the side view of that bench. And here we have a person just for scale. Here I was kind of bored, and I had my markers with me, so I thought, okay, how can I make like a landscape scene with only a few colors with a marker? And this is what happened. There are a few of these inside. These two, this was my first try with watercolor. 水彩ね。これは私の始めた時。This is again. This was my first time trying watercolor. So this and then this here. This was my second try on watercolor. Before these two, I never had tried watercolor before. Okay, this brings me the following memory. I was waiting for a professor at school, and I was like, okay, what should I do? What can I do while I wait? So I started to draw a flower, and I was starting to color with a marker. That's when the professor arrived, and I never finished it. But this is what it is. It's a sketchbook. This was a park that I made. You will see on the finished model where this is. It's a park that I made, part of my project, and the colors are all the colors are watercolor. Even these lines here is watercolor. Sketches over here. Over here I kinda figure out that the watercolor goes through the paper. So it kind of gave this weird green thing. And here is like part of that project. This is the marketplace. How I thought about the marketplace. Oh, the professor didn't really like this, so I had to change, and it changed it to this. And then the professor liked it. So this is the marketplace. It looks like a museum or something like that, but it's a market, public market. And over here I was sketching. I was still thinking about that game, and I was starting to think about pirates. So from here there are a few pages where there will be pirates. Planning on some kind of project. I always, when I'm starting a project, I always draw the sectors first, and then I figure out everything else. This is a skeleton which I was starting to draw. I stopped, and then later I was still trying to figure out watercolor. I made this abstraction. It was in 2018. This was most like I was trying to test blending in watercolor. I failed over here, and I was trying to figure out watercolor, how to mix different colors and get some effects, things like that. Okay, so here is my skeleton, and this here I was waiting for some friends to arrive, and I drew this as a form of practice. I don't remember how long I waited, but yeah, I finished this drawing while waiting for some friends at a shopping center. And this is something similar to it. I was waiting for something and I drew this. Skeleton is really small. Let me show you the skeleton. Where it is? Where is it? Okay, you know what? I will post a link to my Instagram of this skeleton, and you will be able to see it. Okay, I can see that we are in 20 minutes already. And this is going to be a long video, right? And that was part 1 of this video. It's going to take 3 parts, like I said. Let's go to part 2 on the next video. Then see you guys later. You guys see me later.